What if the global order we've known for decades is quietly coming to an end? Across Europe, the Middle East, and the Indo-Pacific, military alliances are strengthening, defense budgets are rising, and strategic competition is accelerating. The Russia-Ukraine war continues to shape European security. In the Middle East, renewed tensions around the Strait of Hormuz have once again raised concerns about global energy supplies. At the same time, India is expanding its strategic partnerships, while China and the United States continue competing across technology, trade, and military influence. These are not isolated events. Together, they may signal a broader shift in how power is distributed across the world. In this video, we'll examine the facts, the strategic implications, and the future scenarios that experts are watching as of July 10, 2026. To understand today's geopolitical landscape, we first need to understand the three major centers of global power. The first is the United States, which continues to maintain the world's largest military network, global alliances such as NATO, and significant influence over international finance and technology. The second is China, whose rapid economic growth, expanding naval capabilities, and global infrastructure investments have reshaped trade and strategic competition across Asia, Africa, and beyond. The third is India, a country that is rapidly increasing its economic strength, technological innovation, defense capabilities, and diplomatic partnerships. With one of the world's fastest-growing major economies and an increasingly important role in the Indo-Pacific, India is becoming a key player in global affairs. These three nations are not only competing in military power but also in artificial intelligence, semiconductor manufacturing, space technology, energy security, and global influence. The decisions made by these countries over the coming years could shape the international order for decades to come. Over the past decade, India has steadily expanded its influence on the global stage through economic growth, technology, diplomacy, and defense modernization. Today, India is one of the world's fastest-growing major economies. Its digital public infrastructure, including UPI, has transformed how millions of people and businesses make payments every day, attracting international attention. India has also strengthened its position in space exploration. ISRO's successful missions have demonstrated that advanced space technology can be achieved at a fraction of the cost of many traditional space programs. At the same time, India is investing heavily in manufacturing, semiconductor development, renewable energy, and critical infrastructure. Major global companies are increasing their investments as supply chains diversify beyond a single manufacturing hub. Strategically, India has expanded cooperation with countries across the Indo-Pacific while maintaining relationships with partners in both the West and the global South. This balanced diplomatic approach has increased India's importance in an increasingly divided world. Although significant challenges remain, including infrastructure, employment, and income inequality, many analysts believe India's growing economy, young population, and expanding international partnerships could make it one of the defining powers of the 21st century. As India's global influence grows, another major power continues to reshape the international landscape: China. Over the past 2 decades, China has become the world's second-largest economy and a major manufacturing hub. Through investments in infrastructure, technology, and global trade, it has expanded its influence across Asia, Africa, Europe, and Latin America. One of the most strategically important regions today is the Indo-Pacific. This region carries a significant share of global trade, making freedom of navigation and maritime security critical for many countries. China has continued to modernize its military and expand its naval capabilities, while maintaining its long-standing position on Taiwan. At the same time, countries including the United States, Japan, Australia, and India have increased cooperation through diplomatic and security partnerships. Supporters argue that stronger national capabilities help protect strategic interests. Critics warn that growing competition and military buildups could increase regional tensions. For now, the Indo-Pacific remains one of the most closely watched regions in global geopolitics, where diplomacy, trade, and security interests intersect every day. For decades, the United States has played a central role in shaping the international security system through its military alliances, global presence, and technological leadership. Today, Washington continues to strengthen partnerships across Europe and the Indo-Pacific while investing heavily in next-generation defense technologies, artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, and advanced military capabilities. At the heart of this strategy is NATO, the world's largest military alliance. Since the outbreak of the Russia-Ukraine war, many NATO members have increased defense spending, expanded military cooperation, and reinforced their eastern borders. Beyond Europe, the United States is also deepening cooperation with allies such as Japan, Australia, South Korea, and the Philippines to promote stability and freedom of navigation in the Indo-Pacific region. Supporters argue that these alliances help deter conflict and maintain global stability. Others believe they contribute to strategic competition among major powers. At the same time, the United States continues to compete with China in technology, semiconductor manufacturing, artificial intelligence, quantum computing, and global supply chains. As military, economic, and technological competition intensifies, the decisions made by today's leaders could shape the international security environment for decades to come. While global attention often focuses on military conflicts, the Middle East remains one of the world's most strategically important regions because it sits at the heart of global energy and trade. A significant share of the world's oil and liquefied natural gas passes through critical maritime routes such as the Strait of Hormuz. Any disruption in these shipping lanes can influence fuel prices, transportation costs, and inflation across many countries. The region has also become a center of diplomatic activity. Countries continue working to strengthen security partnerships, reduce regional tensions, and protect vital trade routes that connect Asia, Europe, and Africa. For major economies such as India, China, Japan, and many European nations, stable energy supplies remain essential for economic growth. At the same time, investments in renewable energy and alternative supply chains are gradually reducing dependence on traditional energy sources. Although this transition will take many years, military developments, diplomatic negotiations, and economic cooperation in the Middle East will continue to influence global markets and international politics. In today's interconnected world, events in one region can quickly affect businesses, governments, and families thousands of kilometers away. In the 21st century, global influence is no longer determined by military strength alone. Increasingly, it is shaped by technological leadership. Artificial intelligence is transforming industries, governments, healthcare, education, and modern warfare. Nations are investing billions of dollars to develop advanced AI systems that can improve productivity, strengthen national security, and accelerate scientific research. At the center of this technological race are semiconductors. These tiny chips power everything from smartphones and electric vehicles to satellites, fighter aircraft, and artificial intelligence systems. Without them, the modern digital economy cannot function. Countries around the world are investing heavily in domestic semiconductor manufacturing to reduce dependence on global supply chains and improve economic resilience. Cybersecurity has also become a strategic priority. Governments and businesses face increasingly sophisticated cyber threats targeting critical infrastructure, financial systems, and communication networks. Protecting digital infrastructure is now considered an essential part of national security. Space technology is becoming another major area of competition. Satellites support navigation, communication, weather forecasting, disaster management, and military operations. As more countries expand their space programs, cooperation and competition are both increasing. The countries that lead in artificial intelligence, semiconductor manufacturing, cybersecurity, and space technology are likely to shape the global economy and international influence for decades to come. The future of global geopolitics has not been written yet. While no one can predict exactly what will happen, experts generally agree that the world could follow several different paths over the coming decade. The first possibility is a stable multipolar world. In this scenario, major powers continue to compete economically and technologically while avoiding direct military confrontation. Diplomacy, trade, and international cooperation remain the primary tools for resolving disputes. A second possibility is a prolonged period of strategic rivalry, often compared to a new Cold War. Competition between major powers could intensify across artificial intelligence, semiconductors, cybersecurity, trade, and military influence without escalating into a direct global conflict. A third scenario involves continued regional conflicts. Existing disputes in Europe, the Middle East, or the Indo-Pacific could remain unresolved, creating ongoing uncertainty for global markets, energy supplies, and international security. Even without a worldwide conflict, these regional tensions could continue to shape the global economy. A fourth possibility is one of accelerated technological transformation. Breakthroughs in artificial intelligence, clean energy, biotechnology, quantum computing, and space exploration could reshape industries, improve living standards, and create new opportunities for international collaboration. The future will likely include elements from more than one of these scenarios. Governments, businesses, and individuals will all play a role in shaping what comes next. History reminds us that the choices made during periods of global change often influence the world for generations. While no one can predict the future with certainty, experts around the world are closely monitoring several trends that could shape the coming decade. The first is the relationship between the United States and China. Analysts continue to watch developments in trade, technology, artificial intelligence, and military activities in the Indo-Pacific, as these issues have global economic and security implications. The second area is Europe's long-term security. Experts are observing how the Russia-Ukraine conflict, NATO's evolving strategy, and Europe's defense investments may influence stability across the continent. A third focus is the Middle East. Energy markets, maritime security, and diplomatic efforts remain critical because disruptions in this region can affect fuel prices, supply chains, and economies around the world. Many analysts are also paying close attention to India's growing international role. With continued economic growth, technological development, and expanding diplomatic partnerships, India is expected to remain an increasingly influential voice in global affairs. Beyond geopolitics, experts believe that artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, semiconductor manufacturing, and climate resilience will become defining factors of national power during the next decade. Although opinions differ on how events will unfold, there is broad agreement on one point. The world is entering a period where economic strength, technological innovation, and international cooperation will be just as important as military capabilities. The future will not be determined by one country alone, but by the decisions made collectively across governments, businesses, scientists, and societies around the world. Throughout history, every generation has witnessed moments that changed the course of the world. The rise and fall of empires, industrial revolutions, the space race, and the digital age all reshaped how nations lived, traded, and competed. Today, we may be witnessing another historic turning point. Military power remains important, but the future will also be shaped by artificial intelligence, semiconductor technology, energy security, cyber capabilities, scientific innovation, and global cooperation. No single nation can solve today's challenges alone. Climate change, cybersecurity, global health, economic stability, and technological development all require cooperation that goes beyond borders. The coming decade will present both opportunities and risks. Some countries will emerge as leaders in innovation. Others will redefine their role in global politics. New alliances may form, while existing partnerships continue to evolve. What happens next will depend not only on governments, but also on businesses, researchers, engineers, entrepreneurs, and millions of ordinary people whose ideas and decisions shape the future every single day. History is not written by predictions. History is written by the choices we make. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this documentary, subscribe for more in-depth analysis on geopolitics, technology, global economics, defense, and the future of our world. And now we would like to hear from you. Which country do you believe will have the greatest influence on the world by 2035, and why? Share your thoughts in the comments below.